I'm Zach Finesse.
I'm Caitlin Garvey.
Camden Glade.
I'm Jaron Sabis.
Johnny Lacey.
Riley Close.
So we're going to start out with Chapter 12 questions. It has to do with motivation. So the first question is talking about McClellan's acquired needs. Which of his 3 acquired needs, which are achievement, power, and affiliation, which do you feel are the strongest for each of you personally?
For myself, I would say achievement. I'm kind of driven by like awards and like getting a goal done. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, I have to say achievement too, because I don't know, it feels good once you reach something you've been working hard towards.
Yeah, I'm probably the same thing. I think goal setting's really important to me, and that's kind of what I went by.
Okay. We're going to go over here and do this activity, the Herzberg two-factor theory. So just a little natural activity for job just satisfaction or satisfaction. So I'll just read them off, and then you guys can talk amongst each other and just decide if it's either one. So the first one is influenced by hygiene factors.
You just want us to say which one you think it is?
Yeah.
Alright, so we think the influenced by hygiene factors is job dissatisfaction.
Correct. So then obviously influenced by satisfier factors.
Is job satisfaction.
Yep.
It's the opposite.
Number 3, job entails bringing work home after hours.
We'll
Yeah.
probably say dissatisfaction. on that one.
4, work area does not have functional air conditioner.
Also
Yeah,
dissatisfaction.
same thing.
Doing great. 5, hostile work environment, rude and disrespectful coworkers.
Dissatisfaction.
6
achievements are recognized and celebrated.
job satisfaction.
Satisfaction.
Yep. 7, work has a physical and or emotional toll on your life.
Dissatisfaction.
Yep. 8, you are entrusted with great responsibility at work.
Job satisfaction.
Yep. 9, the company promotes from within and provides rapid advancement opportunities.
Job satisfaction.
Yep. And last one, the company has policies that conflict with your personal, moral, and ethical beliefs.
Dissatisfaction.
Yep. Great job.
Alright, next question, we're going to talk about core characteristics a little bit. So the 5 core characteristics are skill variety, task identity, task significance, autonomy, and feedback from the job itself. Which of these 5 do you feel is most important to you personally?
I think the task significance is the most important to me. I just think with like the greater importance of it, even if I don't mean to, I work harder or think about it more than something that has just not as much significance.
Can you read them off again?
Skill variety, task identity, task significance, autonomy, and feedback from the job itself.
I have to say feedback from the job itself, because like if I'm doing something and I see that it's making things better, I tend to want to do it even more, make it even better.
I would say feedback as well. I think feedback's a great tool to learn from. And I think it's easy to move forward from there once you have feedback.
Kind of branching off from that, do you feel that there's any of those 5 that wouldn't necessarily provide any further satisfaction to you in a job?
I would say skill variety for myself. I'm fine with just doing the same thing over and over. Like I'm a lifeguard, for example, and so I show up every day and sit in a chair and watch the same pool, and I'm fine with it. So I don't think that's a big factor for me.
I guess I don't really know yet. I guess because I haven't really worked that much now at a company, so I guess I'll find out in a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really. I don't know. I'm not sure either.
Okay.
Okay, we'll move on to Adams' equity theory. The theory pretty much, I'll show you the slide if it helps, talks about social comparisons and if those motivate you. Would you guys agree with this theory? We need to look at the slide a little more.
myself, I think it does motivate me. Just kind of looking at like sports, like I always want to be better than whoever I'm competing against, and same in a job. I like to be the best that I can be, but also work to be better than whoever's like around me.
I'd say same thing probably.
Same. Going off that, do you guys feel that there are any ethical problems with this theory at all? Or do you think it's...
I think that you could run into some problems in a job. Just, I think you could run into problems when you see kind of like favoritism and stuff, because if I have a personal connection with the boss, then I might be awarded more because I know them versus if someone else is doing better than me.
I feel like you can raise like ethical issues like within yourself, because you might work really hard towards that. You might knock other people down, not knowing like how you're making them feel. That it can cause a disconnect.
For sure.
I think it kind of like depends on the person and how they work and how they think they should be.
I also feel like it could cause an individual person to get too caught up on achievement and almost like try cheating or breaking rules just so that they can get the awards. Back to Johnny's like ethics point.
Alright, so now we'll move on to the goal setting theory. So do you guys have any examples of when you set goals for yourselves and achieve that goal?
Yeah. For I would say for sports every season, again, setting like how many games you want to win or like making the playoffs, I think is like a common goal that I see. And I think it helps because it's always that like light at the end of the tunnel that you're looking to kind of get towards, that just kind of helps you like push yourself.
Just what are some examples of like when you set a goal for yourself and achieve that?
Well, I breed snakes, so like I have like a certain, like I get as many snakes ready as I need to get ready. So I have to do it like at the perfect time, or like the eggs won't hatch.
Mm-hmm.
So like last year, I set a goal to get 3 snakes ready. I got 4 of them ready, and the eggs came out well.
I'm involved in basketball, so I know that for a team we always set individual goals in the beginning of the season, and then we kind of look at them towards the end of the season. I think it's really positive to do that, and I think if you have your whole team working towards that, it really helps out.
Yeah. And how did achieving those goals, did that influence your work ethic in the future in any way, or did that kind of stay the same?
Yeah, I think it always does. Just if you're like motivated kind of like person, then it should help you, just because you never want to really fail, and so reaching those is always very positive.
Yeah.
I think it's important to like look back at your goals after you've gone so far, and just kind of reevaluate and see where you're at.
Yeah, and it pushed me to try to do more like next time.
Alright, next we're going to talk about operant conditioning a little bit. So this was the concept of reinforcement or punishment in order to influence work behaviors. So do you think reinforcement or punishment would have a more profound effect on an employee's behavior or your behavior personally? And would you prefer positive or negative conditioning?
I don't think punishment and that is a bad thing, because like I've worked at 2 different places where we've kind of had 2 opposite things, and when you don't have like punishment or reinforcement, then you see people just bend the rules more and more every day. And even if it's just like a slight penalty or punishment, I think you need to have like something set and really enforce it. Otherwise, everyone will bend the rules as much as they can to get the slight edge.
Mm-hmm.
I think like after so many like times of like messing up, I think eventually there should probably be a punishment, but I think reinforcement for the first couple times is okay.
What was the second question?
Would you see positive or negative reinforcement or punishment being more effective for you personally?
I think it kind of has to deal with the task, because for obviously for a job, it's nice to have positive when you do well, and so that people can see that. But then sometimes, like in sports, sometimes I need someone to get on me so that I can really just realize, like, wow, I need to actually do better just because I'm slacking.
Mm.
I would say I think negative feedback's more beneficial to me, I would say.
Yeah, I say negative.
Okay.
Right, now we're gonna move on to chapter 13, which is teams and teamwork. So we're gonna start with you guys thinking of a time when you've been a member of a team outside of this class, and what were some benefits of that team.
Some benefits. I think go back what you guys were talking about earlier, like goal setting. I think is really important when you're in a team. That way everybody kind of works together and strives for the same goal.
Okay, last year I was in LS 115, and we went down to Cedar Valley and helped out with like sorting papers and picking up clothes and sorting them out. So we kind of split it up. We had 4 people. We split it up into 3 different groups. So we got things done.
I'd say it's beneficial because in your team, not everyone's gonna think the same way, whether it's like sports or school, and so you're always gonna have like different viewpoints. So if someone's not thinking in that way, someone will be there to kind of help out.
Okay. And like in a team that you've been in, have you ever encountered any problems? And if so, how are they like resolved? So like I know you guys are in sports. Anything like that?
I would say there's always people kind of like clashing heads, and I think the way I've seen a bunch, but I would say it's best kind of when just everyone like comes out with their problems when it happens, because when people hold them in, then all of a sudden when it finally does come up, everyone has a huge problem, rather than if you just sort out the small problems when they happen. I think it works out better.
Yeah, and in high school basketball, it was this one game where I passed the ball to a guy, and he had put lotion on right before he got in the game, and the ball slipped right through his hand. So everybody like got on because he lost the game for us. So like in the next practices, we would just throw the ball to him really hard and make sure he caught it. So I feel like getting on it like right away was good.
Yeah, I think it's good if like your team can like say what's on their mind and like resolve problems earlier than it would hold them in.
Agreed.
So this one's kind of going off that same team concept. Think back and what was the most effective team that you've ever been a member of, and what do you think made that team so effective?
My like high school soccer team was probably the most effective team I'd been on, just because we'd all known each other a lot and we grew up together, so we kind of knew how to motivate the other people and not like push their buttons. And so I'd say like the factor there is just knowing who you're dealing with and how to like motivate them or deal with them in certain like situations.
Yeah, I say my high school basketball team because we won a championship at the end. We had really good communication, and everybody would get on everybody if they messed up.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. I think the more you know each other and like more experience with each other is like the most beneficial thing probably.
Kind of branching off that a little bit, this one wasn't on the sheet, but one I just thought of. Have you ever been on a team that was really ineffective, and what was, I guess, the factor on that team that made it so ineffective or dysfunctional?
Yeah, I would say the one that I've been on, is when there have been people who thought they've been above everyone else, and so they always thought they were right no matter what, which just led to more and more problems when anything came up, and everything became a bigger deal than it needed to be, just because there was a disconnect between like that person and the team. So I'd say that would be mine.
I can't think of one.
It's not a bad
yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
What I've been proud of is like everybody has like their own individual goals and like nobody works together for like their
Okay.
team common goal. I'd
Yeah.
say.
we're gonna move on to conflict management. Can you think of a time when a conflict within a team that you've been on has benefited the team in the long run? Like made it stronger?
Yeah, I would say the time that everyone blew up on each other was beneficial, just because, like, as everyone was holding in their problems, everything got, like, chippy and, like, everyone kind of came, like, disconnected. But then once everyone finally, like, got through all of that, everyone was, like, closer and realized, like, the improvements that they needed to make to be, like, better as a group.
I'd say the same thing, probably.
No comment then. How do you think you personally tend to handle conflicts in a team setting? Like, are you the one to like speak out? Or are you kind of more like in the background type thing?
Yeah, I'm really vocal, and so sometimes I yell or whatnot, but
Here's the conflict management slide too, if you wanna look
Yeah.
at it.
yeah, usually I speak out, but I think that's also just because it's more of like it was on a team where I was really close with everyone, so everyone knew whatever was said could just kind of be, it was as friends and not that we were yelling at each other because we hated each other.
I feel like I'm kind of 50-50 with it, but I like to listen to people and, you know, figure out their side of the story too, and put my side together too. Like, if I'm not in it, I'll probably just try to work things out between the other two people. But I usually try to help figure out the problem and alleviate the pressure from everybody.
I would say I'm more introverted when it comes to that type of thing, but it depends on the setting as well.
So we're gonna move on and talk about communication networks, which were centralized, communication decentralized, and restricted. So have you guys had many experiences with any of the three different types? And which do you feel is the most effective out of those three?
Can you see that?
Yeah.
This one and then the next one too.
I've had a lot of experience with decentralized, like back to the team thing, because when it happens, everyone's involved and kind of vocal, and some people obviously sit back more than others. But when it happens, we had like a big team meeting where everyone was there, and I think that was effective because I think when not everyone's there, people's opinions get left out or not heard, and it just is a repeating cycle.
I would say same thing, but I think every team needs to have its like leaders that have most authority, but I still think everyone should have a chance to speak their mind, but I think there needs to be set like leaders or captains that have the main authority.
Yep. It kind of depends on the situation you're in too, because it was one time where our team thought we should get like better uniforms, so we had to get together and we had to go talk to the principal and the person in charge of our athletics.
I also say I have a lot of experience with like centralized though, because when I think of that, I almost think of like when you have a team captain and they're kind of like your spokesperson, and I think in certain scenarios that's always effective too, just to have one representative, because sometimes it just gets too like overcrowded when you have everyone there.
Mm-hmm. And what about like restricted? You guys have much experience with that, or is that a little bit more or less common?
I feel like it is less common.
Yeah.
So I figure that people usually either go centralized, because I feel like that's probably the best way to go, because you got a bunch of people talking and ideas are flowing, and it goes to that one person, and they can communicate it to like the other person.
Yeah, I haven't really had much experience with restricted.
Yeah. I would imagine that would be something that might come up more in like a professional career where you maybe
Yeah.
are broken up into more formal teams or subcommittees or something like that.
Because I would even say that restricted almost kind of falls into, like, if in centralized you're like main person, I feel like it's just kind of like the main person and two different centralized ones talking to each other, so they're kind of like intermixing almost.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna look at Tuckman's stages of team development. So we have the 5 stages, and if you can just like read them off and read off the description of what matches it.
Alright, yeah, so norming we think is the team development, one of the initial task orientation and interpersonal testing.
No.
No,
Wrong.
I'm saying, we'll say it's D probably.
Oh, D.
That's okay. 1 strike. No.
Form,
Oh, okay, that's where it's
forming. We're gonna say B for forming.
Can you read it?
Yeah, team development, one of the initial tasks of orientation and interpersonal testing.
Yep.
Journey.
Would say E. Just completion of tasks and team may disband.
Yep.
Say A is performing, effective teamwork and focused task performance.
Yep.
And storming is conflict over tasks plus working as a team.
Yep.
And then can you guys put the 5 stages in numerical order? You can just write the numbers on top.
Yeah, so B,